Welcome to Gardening Wise. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how you can propagate Fuchsia plant by using stem cuttings. Fuchsia plant comes under the category of softwood stem cuttings. And this is the Fuchsia allable plant which I have had this year. This is bush variety of Fuchsia plant and it was full of blooms. It has got these pretty light pink, magenta, lantern type blooms and I absolutely adore this plant. I want to have the same plants next year, so I have decided to take some cuttings out of this plant so I can plant them this time of year. They can root now, so I can put them in the greenhouse and they can be ready next spring to go in the ground. So you can delay this process until spring. So actually this plant is deciduous shrub, so it sheds its leaves during the winter, and this plant is hardy in our zone. We are in zone 8 and this is hardy in our zone, but if you are in lower zones you may need to bring the plant indoors to protect it from winter frost. So in my previous video I have discussed how you can propagate hydrangea and roses using softwood stem cuttings. So if you haven't watched that video, I will highly recommend you go and watch that video. I will include the link in the description box, or you click in the top right corner here. I have also included a very short 1-minute clip from that video in this video where I have discussed the basics of plant cutting. So I highly recommend you watch that. Before we go into any more details, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any video. There are different types of cuttings which you can use to propagate more plants from the main plant, which is called mother plant or stock plant. So the first method is by using stem cuttings. In stem cuttings, you take a piece of stem from the mother plant, stock plant. Here in this picture, you can see we have got this mother plant, and this plant has been cut at an angle on the stem, leaving some leaves behind. And here you can see in more details, the part we cut has 4 leaves on it, which are 4 nodes. So the node is the position from where the leaf come out. So you need at least 4 nodes on your cutting, and the space between 2 nodes is called internode. So the second method is using leaf cuttings, which is more common with succulents. In succulents, you take a leaf and then you put it in the propagation medium, it generates root, and then it produces a new plant from that cutting. The third method is by using root cuttings, which is more common with like trees and shrubs. So here you can take a piece of root and plant that root, and the new plant will start to come out from that root. In today's video, we are gonna focus on using stem cuttings. So stem cuttings are further divided into 4 categories. Hardwood cuttings, which are basically deciduous shrubs, climbing vines, fruit trees. And the second is semi-hardwood cuttings, which is basically with shrubs like azaleas and camellias. The third method is softwood cuttings, which is generally used with roses, hydrangeas. And the fourth is herbaceous cuttings, which are non-woody plants like mint, dahlia. I have done a video on propagating dahlia in fall. If you haven't checked that video, please find the link in the description box or click in the top right corner. So today's video, I'm giving away a $10 Amazon gift card. To enter the competition, you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Comment under one of my videos and share it on your Facebook. And don't forget to tag Gardening Wise. You can find all the links in the description box, so hurry. So here I have taken a cutting from my Fuchsia plant, and this is a side branch. It's quite long side branch, and you can see it's softwood. It's still quite fresh. So you don't want to use a stem which is very woody in textures. You want to have a branch which is soft and still looks fresh and green. So this is quite long, so I'm going to further cut it into 3 or 4 parts. And basically you need a cutting which is like 2 to 3 inch tall and has at least 4 nodes. So the node is the place from where this leaf or new growth comes out. So I have removed all the lower leaves, and you need to pinch the leaves of the stem, which basically creates a wound, and then all the plant hormones travel towards that wound to get it repaired, which basically helps to generate new roots. So again, I'm going to have another part out of this long branch, keeping 4 to 6 nodes. I am removing the lower leaves, and you need to keep only the top leaves, 2 or 3 top leaves, and you need to trim those leaves as well, because the plants transpire by their leaves, which means they lose water by their leaves, and if you leave more leaf surface, they will transpire fast and they will lose more water and dry out very quickly, which you don't want to happen. So you need to keep at leaf area as minimum as possible. So, and you need to just make a clean cut just under the node, lower node, and then you dip that lower part of the cutting in honey. Honey is a good rooting medium, which basically facilitates the rooting process. You can also use rooting hormones, which are easily available in garden centers. But if you don't have rooting hormone, or even you don't have honey, you don't have to use anything. You can just plant the cutting and it will root itself, but it can take longer. So basically rooting hormones and honey facilitate the rooting process and gets this done faster. So I have planted 4 cuttings out of that branch, and now I have another branch which has got some birds as well. So if there are any flower birds or any flowers, you need to remove those flower birds as well. So you don't want the plant to send its energy to flower birds or flowers. So you need to remove any flower birds or flowers that are on the plant. Basically, if you do it in the spring, then they won't have anything like that, but in fall they would have flower birds or flowers or even berries, which basically form by the seeding of the flower. So I am going to have 3 to 4 cuttings out of this part as well, and it's very easy process. I think there is nothing complicated in it. Once you understand the basics, how it works, you can easily do it, and you can plant as many cuttings as you can, as you want. Basically, you don't want to ruin your mother plant, so you don't want like to take a whole lot of cuttings, but taking 2 or 3 stems is fine. So the plants that will generate roots basically will have the same characteristics as the mother plants, which is a plus point of vegetative reproduction. When you grow something from seed, basically the plants that come out of the seed may be different from the parent plants, because that's like hybrid varieties, so it would have different characteristics, totally different characteristics out of the parent as the parent plants. But when you grow something from cutting, you can guarantee the same features and same characteristics in the new plants which you have in the mother plant, and it's absolutely free. You don't have to spend anything. You already have your mother plant and stock plant, and you just need to take few cuttings out of that plant and plant this easy way. And basically it's good, there are good chances of success. Even you like only 2 to 3 plants develop out of so many cuttings, still you will have 2 or 3 more plants next year, and you can do it every year to have more plants. So basically it's a good idea to try it again. Like if you don't have success first time, it's okay, something can go wrong and you can always try again next year. So basically I find this planting process quite interesting, so I quite enjoy it. I have done, as I told you, I have done hydrangeas and roses by this process. I have also done dahlias by this process, and now I'm going to do fuchsias. So even if I have success with 1 or 2 plants, I'm absolutely happy whatever I get. So basically that's the versatility of gardening. So you can always have trials and errors, and then you can improve the process next time. So here you can see these berries, which are the basically as a result of seeding process. You need to remove those berries as well. So you can plant 3 to 4 cuttings in one pot, and basically you can use all-purpose compost, coco peat or coco moss, anything will do. You don't need to fertilize at this time. So basically you just need to moisten the compost and let it go. You can use a propagation medium which comes like basically with bottom heat. So you can provide bottom heat, which basically enhances the rooting process. But if you don't have anything like that, you can use any clear plastic container, and you can make some holes in that plastic container and put these pots in that plastic container, which will basically help with the rooting process. So you want to put these pots in a place where it gets only 2 to 3 hours of morning sun. So you don't want to put them in the direct sun where they will dry out very quickly. So you want to protect from the morning sun. So you can use a polythene bag to cover them as well with some holes in it, or you can put them in the greenhouse. So as long as the temperatures don't go too cold, they will do and generate the roots anyway. So that's all done. Basically it's very easy. You can give it a try, and that's all. So if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, and do subscribe to my channel as it helps me to make more videos, and click on the bell button so you receive all the notifications. Your opinion matters to us, so please leave a comment. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.